Impressionism. Not specifically the art, but that of impressionable age. Every person I know in my age group, they love to dictate. Anyway, they claim and they're assured the greatest season of Power Rangers is indeed Mighty Morphin. Pretty ridiculous. I always say, have you watched every season and every movie? And the answer is always no. As a Power Ranger fan who has seen every single episode and film, I can easily say Mighty Morphin is not the best season. I'm sorry, it's absolute fact. Any Power Rangers fan can watch the entirety of the franchise and realize, yes, it's among the best. That is genuine. But no, it has been improved upon multiple times by multiple seasons. And then I think about the most impressionable age, and most fans, of course, were in that stage once Mighty Morphin debuted in 1993. And that absolutely makes sense. However, the impressionable age is not a good argument for something's quality. Let's look at it from a Bionicle perspective. I want to look at the genuine stats that make up what is great. That is my goal right now, applying the impressionable age to that of Bionicle. Being a 9-year-old, before even seeing the toys pop up, I saw them in the adverts. I wish I could land on why they struck me so much. The original Toa, just looking for the masks, but also displaying their abilities within their environment. We know Bionicle was never loud and obnoxious, which is why it stood itself apart. However, I don't want to say it just came at the right time and it was instantly what I wanted, but there's more of it. There's more to the reaction it gave me. I want to dissect this. Could the answer lie in the voice of Tony Wedgwood narrating the tale of the Toa, or even the fact that these mechanical-looking creatures looked more animate than anything on TV at the time? Another fact that comes to mind, in an easy way to recall, how in the early 2000s, CGI was still in its infancy, and many were understanding the software to the point where it was hard to make characters look real, convincing, and even just animate. Yes, I recall plenty of animation at that point, low tier. You look at it now and you just realize it's a product of its time. But I can't say the same for LEGO's creation. The animation still looks super fantastic. It was all for advertisement and we didn't get to the movies till 2003. Sadly, LEGO didn't have all that money in 2003, especially for no big Star Wars or Harry Potter film, which were still pretty new in their licensed properties. On the subject of 20 years, it might as well be the entire span of how long I couldn't answer my own question. Why did Bionicle affect me the way it did from the very beginning? But maybe I have the answer. Have you ever compared the toy commercials of 2001 to that of Bionicle? Let's take two examples. Let's go with Bandai and Hasbro. The commercials feature just the toys and kids interacting with them, but any of the animated sequences, they belong to their respective shows. Perhaps it is the CGI, ahead of its time by far, looking significantly better than any contender on any network that aired it. To put it in perspective, I can recall it as 100% CGI with barely any footage of the toy itself, but the animation is what animated the actual figure, giving it the life that only exists in your own imagination. Another thing I remember so fondly is my mind trying to connect all of these advertisements together into a single story, trying to see the shared universe of the biomechanical creatures. So, for you viewers, sound off in the comments. I am curious. I can't relate this experience with any other of mine, as Bionicle is the lone example. Before I close out, I want to touch on the impressionable age once more. Now, psychologically, in regards to the science, I don't think age really affects it to the same extent as described. I didn't discover gargoyles until 2016. It brought me to tears and has left a lasting memory despite I've only seen it one time. But I never thought I'd have a single TV show on my #1 pedestal. Lego came in with their toy line maybe at one of the lowest points of their career, but it was the perfect time for me to latch on and gain a lasting impression. For me, it's even hard to think of Bionicle retroactively because of how has it affected me here in my adult life from when it first debuted. I don't look at it as some relic. I look at it as the influence that's brought me to where I am right now. But do you guys feel the same way? I've always been a picky individual, and I rarely latch on to anything in the mainstream. My coworkers call me an enigma, and I suppose that's why I only like what is a rarity. But I know when I love something, and I hope that's exactly why you're here right now. So, as we go into this new year, forever your fellow gamer. Your viewership and participation in this video is always appreciated.